Did you know that saying, "sit down, please," can actually sound like an angry order? In this episode, we are going to fix a common mistake where please actually makes you sound rude, and I will give you the alternative that native speakers actually use. Welcome to English Speaking Corner. Today, we are focusing on modal verbs to soften your language. First, we will hear a dialogue where a direct translation goes wrong. Then, we break down the softener method. Finally, we will shadow a corrected dialogue so you can feel the difference. Let's begin. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. I am Sarah, and I am joined today by Mark.
Hello, everyone. It is great to be here. You know, Mark, today's topic is one of the most surprising ones for our listeners. We often think that politeness is just about vocabulary. If you learn the word for please and the word for thank you, you should be safe, right?
That is the logical assumption, Sarah. In many languages around the world, the grammar for ordering a coffee and the grammar for asking a favor are exactly the same. You just add a politeness marker at the end.
But English is a little bit tricky. It relies heavily on structure to show respect rather than just magic words.
Exactly. I have noticed this with very high-level students. They have perfect vocabulary, excellent pronunciation, but sometimes they come across as a little bit aggressive and they have no idea why. It usually comes down to the imperative mood.
Right, the imperative. For those listening who might not know that term, the imperative is the grammatical form used for commands. Run, stop, eat, listen. When you use the verb in its base form like that, you are giving a direct order.
And here is the trap. If you take a direct order, like "give me that pen," and you simply add "please" to the end, saying "give me that pen, please," grammatically it is still a direct order. The word "please" does not change the grammar. It just makes you sound like a polite dictator.
I love that description, a polite dictator. It is like you're ordering someone around, but you're trying to dress it up. To a native speaker, this structure often sounds like a parent scolding a child. Imagine a mother telling her son, "Clean your room, please." It is not a request, it is a command that expects compliance.
That is the perfect context. So, if you use that same structure with a waiter, a colleague, or a new friend, you are subtly putting yourself above them. You are implying that they must do what you say.
To really help everyone understand this, let us listen to a bad example. We are going to act out a short scene in an office. I will play a manager, and Sarah, you can be the employee. I want everyone listening to pay attention to how my lines make you feel, even though I am saying please every time. Are you ready, Sarah?
I am ready. Let's do it.
Sarah, come here, please. I need to check these numbers. Sit down, please.
Okay, sure. Is something wrong?
Review this page, please. Find the mistake. Correct it, please.
Okay, cut. Wow, Mark. Even though we were just acting, I actually felt a little bit defensive there.
It felt terrible to say it, honestly.
It felt very cold. When you said, "sit down, please," it didn't feel like an invitation. It felt like I was in trouble. It felt like I had no choice but to sit down. And when you said, "correct it, please," it sounded like you were frustrated with me, as if I should have already done it.
That is the power of the imperative. It creates distance and hierarchy. Now I want to pause here for a second and ask our listeners to subscribe to the channel if they want to fix these subtle communication barriers. We are building a library of these nuances to help you not just speak English, but to connect with people. If you want to feel confident in every conversation, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next breakdown.
So, Mark, if the imperative plus please is the trap, what is the solution? How do we fix this?
The solution lies in a group of words called modal verbs. Specifically, we are talking about can, could, and would. We use these to turn our commands into questions. This is the golden rule of English politeness. Indirectness equals politeness.
Indirectness equals politeness. That is such a key concept. When you turn a command into a question, you are technically giving the other person the option to say no. Even if we both know they will say yes, the grammar offers them a choice. That choice is what creates respect.
Exactly. So instead of saying, "pass me the salt, please," which is a command, we use a modal verb to ask, "Could you pass me the salt?"
Notice the difference there. Could you pass me the salt? It is softer, it is lighter, and it sounds much more natural.
Let's look at the 3 main levels of this. We have can, could, and would. Can is casual. You use it with your friends or family. Can you help me? Can you open the window? It is friendly, but it is still quite direct.
Then we have could. Could is your standard, safe, polite option for almost any situation. Could you help me? Could you open the window? If you are ever unsure which one to use, choose could. It is almost never wrong. And then we have would. Would is often used in a specific phrase. Would you mind? This is a little more advanced, but it is extremely polite. However, we have to be careful with the grammar here. Sarah, if I use would you mind, what happens to the next verb?
This is a great grammar point. If you use would you mind, the verb that follows must be in the ing form. So we say, would you mind opening the window? We cannot say, would you mind open the window? That is a very common mistake.
Right. So, would you mind opening the window? This is very useful when you are asking for a slightly bigger favor, or if you are speaking to someone you do not know very well. It shows you are making an effort to be considerate. Let's try that acting scene again. We will do the exact same scenario, manager and employee, but this time, Mark, you are going to use the softener method. You are going to use modal verbs.
Got it. Let's try to change the vibe completely.
Okay, action.
Sarah, could you have a minute? I need to check these numbers.
Sure, Mark. What do you need?
Could you pull up a chair? I was wondering if you could look at this page.
Of course.
Would you mind finding the mistake and correcting it when you have a chance?
Absolutely. I will do it right now. And scene. That was night and day, Mark.
It felt completely different.
It really did. When you said, could you pull up a chair instead of sit down, please, it felt like we were collaborators. It felt like we were working together. And the last one, would you mind finding the mistake, sounded like you trusted me to do the job rather than ordering me to do it.
And notice, I didn't use the word please in every single sentence. That is another secret. When you use the right grammar structure, like could you or would you don't actually need to say please every time. The structure itself does the work of being polite.
That is so liberating. I think many learners overuse please because they are anxious. They think if they say it 5 times, they will be 5 times as polite. But actually, using could you once is more effective than saying please 5 times.
Now, before we get to our practice session, I promised we would talk about one advanced technique that I slipped into that second dialogue. Did you catch it, Sarah?
I did. You said, I was wondering if you could look at this page.
Yes, I was wondering. This is a beautiful phrase for high-level politeness. Notice the tense, I was wondering. It is in the past continuous tense.
But why do we use the past tense, Mark? You are wondering about it right now, in the present.
This is a fascinating quirk of English psychology. By putting the verb in the past, I was wondering, we create a little bit of distance between us and the request. It is almost like saying, I had this thought in the past, but I am not forcing it on you right now. It makes the request feel much less immediate and demanding.
It acts like a cushion. It softens the impact. So, if you need to ask your boss for a day off, or if you need to ask a stranger to move their bag on the train, this is your secret weapon. I was wondering if I could take a holiday next week. Or, I was wondering if you could move your bag.
It is incredibly effective. So, we have the please trap, which is the imperative command. We have the modal solution using could and would. And we have the advanced distance technique using I was wondering.
I think it is time to put this into practice. We are going to do a shadowing loop. This is where you, the listener, get to speak. We will give you a sentence that uses the old, direct, rude way. Then we will give you the corrected, polite version. We want you to repeat the polite version out loud.
Exactly. Do not just listen. You need to train your mouth muscles to form these shapes. I will say the rude version so you know what to avoid, and Sarah will say the polite version. Then we will leave a quiet space for you to repeat after Sarah. Try to match her intonation. If her voice goes up at the end, your voice should go up.
Let's start with a classic restaurant scenario. The rude way. Give me the menu, please. The polite way. Could you bring me the menu? Good. Notice the rising intonation on menu. Could you bring me the menu? Let's try another one. Imagine you are in a taxi. The rude way, stop here, please. The polite way, could you pull over here? Pull over is a great phrasal verb for vehicles. Let's try a situation at home with a family member. The rude way, clean the dishes, please. The polite way, would you mind doing the dishes? Remember the grammar there. Would you mind doing, not do, doing. Let's try one more, using our advanced phrase. Imagine you need to ask a colleague for help. The rude way, help me with this, please. The polite way, I was wondering if you could help me with this. Excellent. I hope you were speaking out loud. If you were on the bus or the train, maybe you just whispered it, but that counts too. It absolutely counts. The important thing is that you are replacing that instinct to just use the verb. The next time you go to order a coffee, catch yourself. Do not say, give me a latte, please. Pause, take a breath, and say, could I have a latte? Or even, I would like a latte. Anything is better than the imperative, give me. It is a small change, but the reaction you get from people will be different. You will see more smiles. You will feel less tension. People will be more willing to help you because they feel respected. And that is really the goal of this channel. We want you to feel confident, not just that you are correct grammatically, but that you are socially intelligent in English. If you found this breakdown helpful, please do like the video. It tells us that you enjoy this deep dive into the psychology of speaking. And if you have a specific phrase you are unsure about, maybe something you say at work and you don't know if it is rude or polite, put it in the comments. We read every single comment, and we might even use your phrase in the next episode. We want to build this community together. So, your mission for today is simple. Try to go a whole day without using a direct command. Use your modals. Use can, could, and would. See how it changes your interactions. Thank you so much for listening and practicing with us today. Speaking English is a journey, and you just took a big step forward. Keep talking, stay calm, and we will see you in the next episode. Goodbye, everyone.